As a vegetarian, I struggle to get enough protein in my diet. If you're struggling too, whether you're a vegetarian or a meat lover, here are some real helpful protein hacks I've come up with. Some of them you might know, other ones, hopefully there's some new ones that you're just learning about now. I try to do these tips every single day. I am supposed to be getting about 100 grams of protein, which is really tough for someone like me, except if you're eating lots of protein bars. I just kind of don't want to eat protein bars all the time. I want to eat natural foods as much as possible. So I'm going to take you through this list of 25 ways to get more protein into your diet. And I actually think I have more than 25. Key takeaway from this video. One is you don't need animal protein to get enough protein in your diet. I've had so many times when I tell people I'm a vegetarian, they ask, are you getting enough protein? I'm getting enough protein. Do I have to come up with creative ways to do it sometimes? Yes, I do. But I live a pretty active lifestyle. I do need protein because I'm trying to build muscle too. And yeah, I do get enough. So let's get started and I'll show you some of the ways. One way to increase your protein intake is to switch out the type of grains you're using. Only eating white rice and pasta, you want to change that. So you can do quinoa is naturally gluten-free. Okay, complete proteins have all 9 essential amino acids, has about 8 grams of protein, pretty high in fiber. Farro is not a complete protein. It has about 6 to 8 grams of protein. Spelt is about 5 to 6 grams of protein. And couscous is one that we make in my family all the time. It only has about 2 grams of fiber, but it has about 6 grams of protein. So not a terrible option, definitely better than your traditional white rice and pasta. So white rice only has about 2 to 3 grams of protein, but wild rice and brown rice are definitely better options. Tip if you're looking for a quick way to make quinoa or rice. I love this brand, Seeds of Change. I link to it below. 90 seconds in the microwave is all you need. So these are just a few of the variations. So these are really tasty and just simple. Throw some vegetables, throw some tofu, whatever you want. If you're a meat lover, throw some chicken in there. And this is a great way of getting some extra protein. I only discovered this about 6 months ago maybe, is Ripple pea protein milk. So if you're using traditional almond milk, that only has about 2 grams of protein. If you switch to Ripple, it has about 8 grams of protein. If you are a milk drinker, that also is high in protein. That I add Ripple to everything. I add it to cereal, oatmeal, smoothies. So maybe start adding some pea protein milk to some of the things you make. Ripple comes in flavors. It comes in unsweetened flavor. It also comes in chocolate. They also have a kids version also if you want to get your kids on some plant-based milk. Another trick is hemp seeds, chia seeds. I throw them on everything. You don't even taste them and it adds so much extra protein. Hemp seeds have about 6 to 7 grams of protein. Chia seeds have about 4 to 5 grams of protein. So you can throw it on your oatmeal, salads. I mean, I literally throw them on everything. Avocado toast, another great one. If you don't have dairy, this is not going to be a good option for you. I actually do try to limit my dairy, but when I don't, throw cottage cheese into everything. And a half of cup of cottage cheese has about 14 grams of protein. So that's a lot right there. My favorite way to add cottage cheese is to add it to some scrambled eggs. So 2 eggs have 12 grams of protein. I also have another video I did and a blog post about the Better Bagel, which is 25 grams of protein. So if you put 2 eggs, mix it with some cottage cheese, and maybe even a slice of cheese, and then sprinkle even some other things on there, that's a hefty amount of protein. So you want to check that one out too. Also, if you eat dairy and you don't like cottage cheese, just do Greek yogurt. It varies with the brands, but 1 cup of Greek yogurt is about 18 grams of protein. This is one of my favorite snacks to make in the house, and you don't need to buy it. I know they sell them pre-made. You can just do it yourself. If you have an air fryer, it's best, but you can do it in the oven. It just takes a really long time in the oven, but that is roasting chickpeas. These have about 15 grams of protein per cup. Add whatever seasoning you want. I do curry sometimes, just salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil, sometimes no olive oil, some avocado spray. Just roast it in the air fryer. It comes out nice and crispy. You can just keep it as a snack on hand throughout the week. This is one of my favorite things I also love to do when I have guests over. I kind of sometimes make spicy versions of it, add some chili pepper, cayenne pepper, and put it out, and it's just a great appetizer. Edamame is one of my go-tos, and 1 cup of edamame is about 17 grams of protein. I usually do the peeled ones. I keep them in my refrigerator or freezer. The truly lazy me buys the ones from Trader Joe's that are already in the bag, And then you could just add them again to salads, to sandwiches, snack on them throughout the day. They're so good. I also add them to pasta. Easy way to get protein. You have to be careful when we eat nuts because they are caloric. Quarter cup of almonds has about 6 to 7 grams of protein. I like to kind of chop them up, so I use a chopper. And again, I throw them in salads, I throw them on pastas. I literally throw them everywhere just to get extra protein. Eggs are a great source of protein, 6 grams per egg. And you can add them in surprising ways. I make stir fries, I throw the eggs in there. I make egg sandwiches. I use carbonate bread, or as I mentioned, the better bagel. With eggs, I also just keep them hard boiled, add them to salads, to hummus, just kind of have like platters. So eggs are a really great source of protein. All right, we all get sick of protein powders, but they are a great source of protein. 21 grams of protein per serving. I add protein powders to everything. I add it to oatmeal. I add it to smoothies. I even have a tip. There is a peanut butter flavored protein powder from Orgain, and I like to sprinkle that. Sometimes I make a noodle dish and I'll sprinkle a little bit in and mix it up. You can also bake with protein powder. That's a great way of making your own protein pancakes, protein waffles. Yes, you could buy it pre-made, but it's really simple. Just add a scoop or two to what you're baking. One of my favorite nighttime snacks, especially when I know I'm low on protein, Orgain makes a peppermint hot cocoa. So I just add a couple of scoops of the protein powder. It doesn't actually say to make it this way. I do this. And then I add the ripple milk, so I'm getting a whole lot of protein. I use my frother and mix it all up. Sometimes add a little bit of whipped cream, and it's a really high protein snack. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast is about 9 grams of protein. You can add it to pasta, popcorn, mashed potatoes, your scrambled eggs. Also, you can add your cottage cheese to your scrambled eggs, and it kind of has like a nice, like nutty, cheesy flavor. Okay, if you're not eating beans a few times a week, you're missing out. 9 grams of protein. You can mix it with any of the grains I mentioned earlier, throw it in your salads. So black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. If you're a new vegetarian and you're kind of turned off by tofu, I used to be as a kid, I thought tofu was disgusting and slimy and gross. You're just not making it the right way. So I find for me, the best way to make tofu is in the air fryer. You also want to just kind of experiment with tofu. I've been a fan of Purple Carrot. It's a meal delivery kit. I get it usually once or twice a month, sometimes more. It gives you really unique ways, everything you need to cook everything. I also have the link for that. That even just teaches you really unique ways to cook tofu so it doesn't taste bad. Tofu can be a great source. You also need to get a tofu press. You need to get that extra water out. And also seitan. I used to live near this restaurant and they made a great sandwich. It was like a Reuben with seitan, so good. I haven't replicated it, but I really should. Pasta is so good. My daughter loves cooking pasta, but I try to switch it out and not have even just whole wheat pasta or whole grain pasta. I try to have legume pasta. So I can have chickpea pasta or pasta made from lentils. There's so many really good pastas out there that actually have a lot of protein. If you're kind of not sure how to prepare it, I mean, it comes out good just with sauce, but I'm also a fan of Daily Harvest. I have a code for you below. Daily Harvest makes these really good pastas. They're in a bag. They're even enough size for a family. You just heat it up in the microwave on a stove, and just really yummy sauces, unique ways. I really love them. Oatmeal traditionally doesn't have a lot of protein, except if you add a protein powder like I mentioned earlier, but you can just make your own protein oatmeal. Just add some protein powder, mix it in. That's a really good way of getting extra protein. If you wanna buy some oatmeal that already has protein in there, Kodiak makes some high protein oatmeals, but also I've been really a fan of Health Warrior oatmeal. I have that link also. It tastes so good. And if you want overnight oats, this is a new brand I've been working with. I really like the company Rise, and they make mushroom coffee, but they also make mushroom oatmeal, which sounds really weird. It does not taste like mushrooms, and it has 20 grams of protein. Super easy, just mix it with your favorite dairy or non-dairy milk, put it in the fridge overnight, and it's really yummy. We do taco night in my house at least once a week, a really easy meal. Usually we'll just kind of make a taco in a salad or wrap it in some romaine lettuce. If you can get high protein tortillas or high protein wraps, that's a great way of adding more protein to your dinner. I also really love using the protein wraps. I put hummus and eggs or chickpeas, all different avocado. So just lots of different things into a wrap, and that's a really hearty, filling lunch. It can't be easier to make a soup than in an Instant Pot. You kind of can't mess it up. Just throw lots of beans, lentils, chickpeas into your soup. You can even top it with some avocado. That's a really nice way of making a high protein soup. You can even use some quinoa and some of those grains we talked about earlier. If you're not a person who has the time or even has the interest in making soups, I like two brands. I really like Splendid Spoon, and I also really like Daily Harvest. Both are meal delivery kits, and I have a blog post about them and also links and promos for you below. Hummus doesn't have as much protein as you think. It only has 2 grams per tablespoon, but I feel like every little bit helps. Instead of dipping your carrots in ranch dressing, dip it in some hummus, spread it on your sandwiches instead of mayo. I eat hummus every day. It's one of my go-to foods. So an avocado has 4 grams of protein. 2 tablespoons of flax seeds also has 4 grams of protein, and 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds actually has 6 to 7 grams of protein. So avocado toast, throw on an egg for another 6 to 12 grams of protein, and you have a high protein meal that's also really light, filling, and delicious. Peanut butter is another one of those foods that doesn't have as much protein as you think. It's maybe not the best brand out there, but I really love Skippy. Makes a high protein peanut butter, 10 grams of protein. So if you put that on the Better Bagel, like I mentioned earlier, so if you're gonna go for protein, 10 grams is an easy way to get it. Just have a couple of scoops on a spoon. I try to stay away from cereal for many reasons, but over the last year, I started trying out a couple of cereals, and those brands are Magic Spoon and 3 Wishes. I have links to those below and blog posts, and they're really high protein. If you add some Ripple milk, you're getting even more protein. It's great for a snack, breakfast, lunch. I eat cereal all the time now, and I don't feel guilty. It's also really low in net carbs. Protein bars seem like an easy way to get protein, and they are. I have lots of blog posts about reviews of different protein bars. So just go into the blog, put in the search bar protein bars, and you'll see all of them that come up. I don't love all of them that I try, and I try to be really honest with them. One of the most high protein bars is Built, but it is not vegetarian or vegan. I really like Go Macro bars. I'm also really a fan of FitCrunch lately. They taste like candy bars. They're so yummy. So a few years ago, my mom bought my husband an ice cream maker. It's the Ninja Creami. It is bulky, it takes up a lot of room, and it's been sitting under our countertop for years. But now my husband's really into working out and eating healthy. He's been on this really good kick, and he's been making these protein ice creams all the time. All you need is your favorite protein powder. You can add peanut butter also, and if you add Ripple milk or any other milk, you have a really high protein snack. It's basically like a protein shake that is frozen. Feels like you're eating ice cream. So there's lots of different settings for it. I will have a blog post about that soon. So it's all a big balance. We're trying to watch our calories, our macros, get enough healthy fats and carbs and proteins. But I hope these tips help you. These are some ways I've come up with over the years, some of them creative to make sure I hit my protein goals every day. So if you have any tips I haven't mentioned, I'd love to hear from you, so put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.